Well, good day! So, for today, for Halloween, let's talk about a new classic Halloween special with everyone's favorite sponge. That's right! One of the many SpongeBob SquarePants Halloween episodes, but we're gonna talk about the coolest one that there was. It's that stop-motion episode that happened not that long ago called The Legend of Boo-kini Bottom. And, yeah. So, alright, let's go! Alright, so it's Halloween time in Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob SquarePants is getting Halloween decorations placed up on top of his house. And man, he just doesn't quite get the whole theme of Halloween, right? It's all glitter and like, who really wants cutesy wootsy Halloween decorations besides me, right? Like even his costume is like his happy pretty little flower. Man, this guy gets me every time. Okay, back on track, sorry. SpongeBob admits to his best friend, Patrick Starfish, that he really does not like being scared, and he doesn't like all these scary and creepy Halloween costumes and decorations and all that. Like, it's totally not his bag, but Patrick tries to help him out, right? He even gives him a bit of advice.
Just remember, SpongeBob, scary equals funny.
Which, actually does help SpongeBob out, But yeah, scary equals funny. I'm sure the kids who went to Camp Crystal Lake found Jason Voorhees to be quite hilarious.
But anywho,
SpongeBob and Patrick even go to Sandy's place to take part in her Halloween Horror Fest, which usually would freak out SpongeBob, but he's actually having a grand old time, right? Like he's really getting this whole concept of scary equals funny. Like he's totally picking up what Patrick's putting down. He's bagging what he's mowing. He's reading what he's writing. He's snacking what he's packing. They even visited the Chum Bucket where Plankton and Karen had a house of horror going on there, insinuating that Krusty Krabby patties are made out of people. Funny stuff, kids stuff, all fun and games, right? But yar, there be some jerk-ass ghost pirate called Flying Dutchman, and he be not happy with SpongeBob's laughter, and his laughter is actually attacking his ghost pirate ship. The pirate's all shades of pissed off, right? Because this is supposed to be a scary time of year. It's Halloween, man. There should be an overabundance of horror, right? And even Ghost Pirate takes a look around town and sees that all these decorations around the place are really cheesy, kind of cute and fun, So like, no wonder nobody's really scared, man, because there is no scariness here, right? The mighty Ghost Pirate figures he has to set things right. He gets SpongeBob and Patrick onto his ghost ship of horrors to show them a really scary time. Not out of kindness. No. Out of malice. This guy's not a good guy. So Patrick, is like pretty dumb, but even he is completely grasping the gravity of the situation, right? And as he's filling his costume with gravy, SpongeBob is having a grand old time, man. The scarier things get, the harder he's laughing. And this is really pissing the Ghost Pirate off. He figures he has to crank the horror notch up to 11. And so he does. So to terrify SpongeBob, thoroughly, the Ghost Pirate basically kills Sandy, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Gary, and Plankton, and locks their souls in cages. He even does the same deed to Patrick. And this is a really grim turn, man. Like, considering the previous scene, we had this really fun and happy kind of Ghost Pirate song, which was really catchy, and now you have, like, absolute death. It's at this point SpongeBob realizes that scary does in fact equal scary. So SpongeBob's skeleton and his skin separately take off and run out of the ship, right? Like they're gone, terrified. But after they get back on land, they both realize that they have to go back and save their friends. They have to scare the pirate out of town. So thankfully they team up again and go try to do just that, which absolutely fails, but at least it gave it the old college go. And now Plankton, who at this point is now under the spell of the pirate and is basically his slave, tells the Ghost Pirate,
sure, SpongeBob's not scary, but inside of his brain is the scariest place you could ever imagine.
He was in there a little while ago, man, and it freaked the living hell out of him. But Ghost Pirate Flying Dutchman, man, he ain't hearing none of this, man. He's like, nothing can scare me, man. I'm a ghost pirate. Like, what the hell, right? And so, into SpongeBob's brain he goes, and he's not having a good time in there, man. It's like an acid trip of lovey-dovey cutesy-wootsy, right? The Ghost Pirate, like, freaks the hell out. He can't handle it. He gets the hell out of that brain. He flees, man. He's off the ship. He's out of the town. He's gone. SpongeBob wins. And as Ghost Pirate leaves town, all of the spells and all the stuff he's done evaporates, so everyone's soul goes back into their body, and they're all living and breathing again. So that's pretty hip. So Halloween is saved. Everyone is safe. Well, except for Plankton, who's being used as bubblegum, basically. But, you know, that's the way it goes with the guy. But yeah, other than that, it's all good. And with that is the end of this spooky tale. So, yeah, like, that was actually a pretty awesome little episode. So, for every other SpongeBob Halloween-themed episode, obviously, like the rest of the show, it was all 2D animation. But, you know, this one was actually kind of more of a fancy little tale. A little more oomph to it, right? So they decided to go the Rankin and Bass route and do a stop-motion special. And it looked really awesome, right? You know, for the fact, like, it's stop motion, so that looks pretty cool. But also, like, the colors of the whole episode, everything was like neon, like fluorescent colors, all kind of like blacklit kind of colors, and it really stood out really well. Especially the ghosts, man. Like, everything looked so, like, just aesthetically pleasing in this episode, right? So in that regard, well done. And I guess the whole theme of the episode of, like, you know, Halloween is a fun time of year and a scary time of year, but it doesn't have to be too far on one extreme of fun or too far on the extreme of scary. It's, you know, like it's a scary, fun time of year, right? This episode, they obviously took that, you know, to the extremes with, you know, the fun part of, like, SpongeBob having glittery Halloween decorations that nobody would even have at Christmas because they're too cute, and to the point where there's a ghost killing your friends and stealing their souls. Like, those are pretty high stakes for a sponge trying to save your dead friends, right? So, you know, it did have that little lesson at the end of, you know, scary is fun, but it's scary, but it's fun, but it's scary, but it's fun, right? Like, there is that balance, you know, for Halloween. But all in all, it was really well done. The number of times to go into SpongeBob's brain, you know, I think this was the 4th time throughout the whole kind of saga of SpongeBob. That's kind of getting a bit much, but still pretty cool when you go in there because it's always something different every single time. And it's always equally terrifying. Which is the whole point of this Halloween episode. But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you know, I definitely suggest checking it out because it's pretty fun, it looks awesome, and it's just a hilarious little story. And there's a whole bunch of other little things that kind of go on in this, so let's go take a look at some of those other stuff going on here. Okay, so this is a pretty fantastic stop-motion SpongeBob special, right? But it is not the first SpongeBob stop-motion special that they've ever made. Nay. The first one that they did was called It's a SpongeBob Christmas, and that came out in season 8, which was, you know, 2012, and that was a classic homage to Rankin and Bass Christmas specials, right? And this featured episode still counts as a Rankin and Bass homage, as Rankin and Bass did do a Halloween stop-motion movie, you know, so this is in the same vein, and it fits in pretty good. There has not been another SpongeBob stop-motion special after this one, and just gotta say, Nickelodeon, you know, SpongeBob Easter, man, think that would be pretty hip. So in this featured special, we had some pretty awesome callbacks to a lot of other movies and whatnot. So Sandy Squirrel, she's all dressed up as Dr. Frankencheeks, which is, you know, obviously a homage to Dr. Frankenstein, and she has even Frankenstein's monster in acorn form. But still, you know, like, I'm a really big fan of, you know, Frankenstein and those old classic movies, man, so, like, I could really appreciate that, man. Really nice touch. So another thing I could really appreciate is that scene where there was 3 kids trick-or-treating at Squidward's house. 2 of those kids were dressed up as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, which is some really awesome in-universe references because Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy are like 2 of the best characters out of this whole series, at least according to me. The other part of that I can really appreciate is that those kids' costumes are those classic store-bought costumes from back in the day that had a plastic mask that would uncomfortably cover your entire face, making it hard for you to breathe and even see through. But you looked so cool that you didn't even care. Even when some corners of that mask would kind of break and start scratching your face, man, you were still in Halloween heaven. So it was like all good. Memories. Another obvious nod, which was what I made earlier, when Plankton suggested that Krabby Patties were made out of people, which is, of course, a reference to Soylent Green, that classic science fiction movie of a dystopian future where Soylent Green was made from people. Ah! Near the end of this episode, Plankton told the ghost pirate that one time he was inside SpongeBob's brain, and it was the scariest place ever, man. Like, it totally freaked him out, right? So that's another movie reference, of course, to the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, from 2015, which was 2 years prior to this episode, where Plankton went inside SpongeBob's brain to try to find the secret to Krabby Patties, and man, he went on a little bit of a trip, let's say. When the ghost pirate did go inside of SpongeBob's brain for this one, the inside of his brain did look different from that SpongeBob movie, and in this episode, it actually looked a lot more like that classic movie from the Beatles, you know, Yellow Submarine? And like, it totally fits because that Yellow Submarine movie is like pretty trippy, you know? Like, even if he didn't do any drugs, man, that thing is like quite psychedelic. I'd freak out too, man. The name of the ghost pirate captain is Flying Dutchman, and this was not his first appearance in the SpongeBob universe. The last time we seen him was in season 8 in an episode called Ghoul Fools, where Flying Dutchman had a ghost feud going on with another ghost pirate. Or pirate ghost? And Flying Dutchman is a clear reference to, well, it couldn't be more obvious, to the Flying Dutchman, which is that classic ship of legend, right? That ghost ship that has been spotted flying above the seas, you know, since the 18th century. A ghost ship which has been cursed with never being able to make it back to port. And some sailors would consider seeing that ship being a bringer of doom and bad luck. Very superstitious lot, you know, them sailors back in those days. But, you know, like, unlike this episode, the Flying Dutchman ship of legend was not a pirate ship. It was actually, well, I guess depends who you listen to. It was either a merchant ship or it was a navy ship, but either way from the Netherlands. Unless the ghost pirate ghostly commandeered this ghost ship, then, you know, that's what he did when he was alive, so I guess you do that after the fact too. Huh. Yeah, that could work out, eh? This Halloween-themed episode was not the first SpongeBob Halloween episode, nor will it be the last. There has been quite a few, and I could list them all here, but you got Google, you know, so have at ye. Also, it's late and I'm pretty tired, so yeah. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. So with this, that, those, and all those other things, I guess that's that. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, you know, feel free to do so. Or anything else, you know, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, you know, have a great day. Thanks.